Welcome to today's RUC People, and today we are joined by Lucy Selokoma. Lucy's been part of our church here at RUC for many years now, and I think served as a deacon for a few years, and is still very much part of the furniture here. So welcome, Lucy. Thank you for joining this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Lucy, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, where you grew up, and something about your family.
Well, thank you, Russell. I will try to answer your questions. I was born in Free State in the place called Ritzfontein, somewhere in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
So, but I grew up in Lesotho because of the problems that my family were facing towards that era of apartheid. So me and my younger sister, we the first that we've been, my parents took us to Lesotho. I believe that my mother have relatives in Lesotho, but for us it was strange people that I was a stubborn one. I don't know which word I can use towards myself because I'm still the same. I used to cry my heart out calling of my parents. I don't want to be here, but nobody was taking care of me. Nobody cares about me. I would cry in the sun until I fall asleep. And then I would wake up and then I put myself together. But to be honest, I wasn't happy. But as a child, I have no rights. I mean, I believe that in that time, we just do what the grown-up people tell us to do, like it or not. But for me, I used to cry and kick and refuse to eat because I find it strange. Like, I want my friends, I want my parents, but really there wasn't people.
So you were born in the Free State.
Yes.
So there was your parents, and there was just two siblings, you and your younger sister? Or how many?
Actually, we were like 9. We were a big family.
Wow, okay.
Yes. But it was strange, as I said. I was young, I don't even remember. I just guess maybe I was 8 or 6 or 5. I really don't know.
When you went to Lesotho?
When we went to Lesotho.
So the first few years, your very early years, you were in Free State. And, and you say you had about 9, you're one of 9?
Yes.
Where are you in the order of, if you have 9 siblings, are you one of the youngest or the oldest?
That time I was not actually... there was the younger one that time, but as we been taken away, me and my younger sister, the rest of my sisters and brothers, they were one brother actually, because the other brothers, they were younger than me. They were born even, after we been taken in Lesotho.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
You're one of the oldest in the family.
Yes. So my sisters, my older sister and the twins, I believe they were at school because we never stayed together. We've been seeing them sometimes, but I just, because I was small, I didn't know actually because that how can I say? I believe that on weekend, they've been brought home. They were grown up in Roman Catholic Church. Okay. So they're attending school, I believe. Okay. So they've been brought home over the weekend, and then Sunday they go back. So we never spend time with them. As a family or as a family.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you went to Lesotho, you think, when you were 6, 8 years old, maybe.
Yes.
And was it Maseru or where in Lesotho?
Oh, in Mafeteng.
Mafeteng.
Yes, Mafeteng is close by to Border Gate and Van Rooyen's Gate, close by Vepena.
Oh, so it's close to the South African border?
Yes,
Okay.
close to South African
And you say your
border.
family really went there because of difficult circumstances under apartheid?
Yes.
Right. And
which I don't
hoping
understand.
it would be better in Lesotho, but for you it wasn't better.
No, not at all. I never liked that place. Yes.
So why didn't you like it? What?
To live with the strangers in the strange country.
Yeah.
I seen the difference because where we were in the farm, although it was that time, but where we were living, it was nice in the community. We were free to walk around in the field and then eat whatever in the field, fruits, and then I used to spend a lot of time among the herd of sheep.
Okay.
Even sleep over, sometimes my family would look for me. So I didn't understand why they're looking for me. I would play with the baby lambs. And then when they feed on their mothers, I do the same. And then I sleep over. And then, yeah.
Wow.
So that is why I wasn't happy in Lesotho, because I miss all those freedom of.
Right. But you started going to school in Lesotho? Is that where you began your schooling?
I think I don't even remember when I did, but what I remember is I look at the same kids, the same age of mine going to school.
Yes.
Then I've been left behind. And then that hurts me a lot. But I never talked about it because I can see that I wasn't feel free to say, because I can see the situation that nobody really cares. Unless maybe they need to we will be sent away. Like if there are members in the community, they need to send someone to the shop, go buy me a packet of match, candles, or what, some kind of things like that. So the following year, I decided, I will follow my friend to school. And then nobody was taking me there. I just go by myself.
Wow. And the school, they accepted you, they show up, they don't say, who is Lucy?
Yes, they were asking, and then the principal came. And then I just tell them, I'm here by myself. And then they were like looking themselves, and then they called the principal, I believe. And he asked me, where is your mother? Where is your father? Who brought you here? And then I explained to him to say, I just came by myself with my friends. That's it. And then it was so nice because they never make a big, how can I say, not a fuss, but like finding out why the child been sent, Lesotho being Lesotho. I don't know now.
Yeah.
But that time.
So they let you stay at school?
I stayed at school.
And were you happier when you could be at school? Did you like the school? Were they nice to you?
Very, very much. That I went to school, already knows how to write my name.
Yes.
Because the other kids, the older one, as we play outside, they will take a stick and then they would teach me writing on the ground. So.
Okay. And so you're in Lesotho, you're going to school, you're staying with your parents?
I think relatives, I must say.
With relatives,
Lesotho.
not with your parents?
That I don't know. No, my parents left behind. I mean, yes. Okay. They just brought us there, and then out of the blue, I didn't even see when my mother goes.
Right. Okay. And so you stayed in Lesotho for a few years, was it? How long were you in Lesotho?
Actually, almost, how can I say? Until I think, finished high school. I don't even remember how old I was that time.
Okay.
But the only thing I remember is when I was 15. So those relatives, including, how can I say, I don't remember how long, but finally my other siblings been arrived, like my older sister and then the twins. But my brother that I born after him, he was still, I heard that he refused to go to Lesotho. So my older siblings, or I was about to say that until after I passed high school. That time it was standard 7.
Okay.
And um, um, then when I was 16, it's where problems starts in my life, even worse nightmare, that my sister was married already now, and they arranged marriage without me knowing, and I wasn't happy about it. And I...
Arranged marriage for...
Yes, for me, without
you?
me knowing.
And you were 16 years?
I was 16. And then I wasn't staying at home. After I passed, I don't know what grades, what standard 7, because now it's grade. So I was already working, trying to save money because I wanted to go further in education.
Yes.
And then I used to give my sister money to save, because we never knew anything about the bank.
Yes.
In those years. So my sister sent a young man, grown up, I believe, in that shop that I was working, trying to save money. And then they brought the letter, and my sister explained to me that I sent this man because they were going to that village. So I just wanted them to pop in and then give you this letter. In the letter, it was like, your brother is here. He wanted to see you, and then all these things. He brought all the things that you like. So I walked with this man, but I wasn't comfortable. I tried to walk fast and then even run, but they were really sticking, like following me, not wanted me to get out of their sight. And then I was upset about it.
Yes.
Like, in my mind, it was like, why now they like not going away? Anyway, I went home. We passed the shop, the other shop in the village close by my sister's place, and they were like going to the shop. So it was a relief for me to walk home. And then when I got home to my sister, actually, because they planned this, so I don't even remember how to explain. But I asked her, I want to see the baby. She got a baby boy. And then she said, okay, wait a minute. The baby is with my mother-in-law. And then as the time goes by, she keep on, telling me, I want to see my brother. Where is my brother? And then, okay, well, he will come. Don't worry. And then, but eventually she said to me, because we used, when we need the bathrooms, we have the toilet, but like outside. And then, can you walk me because it's dark outside. Well, and then I said, but you know that I'm scared of dark. Then we go together, and then I was just waiting for her, went into the restroom, and then I was outside waiting for her. Out of the blue, something just grabbed me, and I was like screaming, nonstop screaming. So it's how I got married. I've been taken away like that.
Wow.
And they took me to that place, I believe. And then when I got there, the house was full of women already, busy making traditional, dress, how makoti, daughter-in-law. And then I was so upset. It was raining. I screamed all along until I don't have a voice.
Oh.
So when I got there, they tried to talk to me. So I was so like, I don't want anything to do with you. Just let me go. But they never let me go. What they did, they just keep the door locked. And then I was wet, and then shoes, and then I refused to take them off. They just throw a blanket on me where I was sitting. because the men, they just knock because they knew about me, but I don't know about myself, what is going on. But as a girl grown up in Lesotho, so I know exactly what is happening now in that moment. So then that's how I got married in that young age.
Wow. And so did you have to live with your new husband?
Yes, and then the following morning, I decided to run away.
Wow, okay.
And then I did.
So a very short marriage.
Yes, I ran away, but they got me again because there is no way to escape there. I thought after a month, so I missed a little baby of my sister, so I decided to go and visit. So I didn't know that my sister, even that man, is still around. So I was relaxing. Then they come and then pick me up in the house. And then my sister was so upset to say now, people in the village. And in that time, it was so hard in Lesotho because what I did, it's something like, how can I say, a curse? Because now no parent will allow me among their, same girls, my friends. I don't have a friend anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm not a woman and I'm not a little girl anymore.
Yes.
So I must live alone, not to have a friend anymore. And then that hurts me a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's when now they got me and then they picked me up for the second time. So I decided to stay, not to run away anymore. But they never trust me. They lock me in like a prisoner.
And who is they exactly?
This man's family.
Okay. Your husband's family.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So they're almost trapping you. You have no
Yes.
choice. You're forced to marry him.
Yes.
You didn't even know him before.
No.
And okay. And so you're staying with your husband. How long did you stay with your husband?
I believe more than 10 years because now when I was 17, I believe is when I have my firstborn, Asilo.
Yes.
And I decided to stay, but it wasn't a good marriage. He wasn't a good father.
Yes.
And then it was so sad because when it comes to a woman, those years, I don't know now, you don't have rights to say how you feel.
Yes.
You're not allowed to express your feelings. You're just a tool.
Yes.
I don't know what to say. To follow
Yes.
whatever
Your husband tells you.
And the rest of the family,
And the rest
as the
of the
grown up, you just follow anything. You don't
Yes.
ask why. You don't ask questions.
And it must be forced age 17 to be married to a man you don't know. You're kept almost prisoner by his family. I mean, did you ever grow to love or like this man? Or
I never hated him for the first time, and then I never liked him until I left him.
Okay.
I still don't like him even now.
Okay.
But it's better because I don't see him anymore.
Yeah. And so during those 10 years, you had two children, two sons. Okay. Can you tell us about your sons?
My sons, Masilo and Paul, when they were young, small, then I never they give me all I need.
Yes.
They give me all the love, even though I don't know what love is.
Yes.
But what I can say is I was happy with them, more than happy.
Yeah.
That God carries me. And then I managed to escape with them because also it wasn't an easy journey to escape.
So tell me about that. I mean, it must have been. It took you a few years to get the courage to say, "I'm going to escape," and you had to plan to escape with you
Yes,
and the two
yes.
boys. How did that happen?
I remember my brother decided to visit in Lesotho and see us. And then he heard about, I don't know who told him because I never told him, but I remember he came into my house and then but he never like give me time to prepare myself. He just came as, like I thought maybe he's coming to visit me, but he's just coming to say that I'm coming to pick you up and then take you with me and the
Yes.
kids. And then I said, where do you live? Who will look after the kids? Because that time I forgot the big part. Oh dear God, I have a lot to say, but it's actually a very sad story about my life. I forgot that not long time, how can I say? My mother came, I don't know, but after a long time.
Yes.
And then I heard that she is coming to pick us up before marriage, before I get married.
Oh, okay.
My mother was still alive, but when I got married, my mother was passed away long time. It never took long in Lesotho. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm still confused about my own life. When did my mother came? Because the only thing I remember, I was at school, which grade I do not know. And then I was more than happy that he came. But my happiness never lasted. The other day we came from school and then my mother was lying in bed. She couldn't speak. He just looking at us and then I tried to make a big fuss, like shaking her, wanted her to talk to me and then tell me. And then the people who were in the house, they just stopped me doing that. And then I asked them, what happened to my mother? And then they said that my mother just collapsed during the day. And then they took her to hospital. And unfortunately, my mother never make it.
Sure.
So I have so many questions for her, but I never had a chance to ask her.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Sorry.
it's whereby now I keep on living in that country that I don't even like it. I mean, Lesotho, it was a beautiful country, I must say, but I never liked to be there.
Yes.
I never want to grow up there.
You wanted to be back here in
Yes.
South Africa.
Yes, and the sad story is I'm talking about my mother all the time. But really, my father was a loving man. Okay. But I never know what happened with my father.
You never really knew your father?
No, I used to make a big fuss to my older sisters, to us, and then even say that, can you direct me because I want to go home still. I don't want to be here.
Yes.
But, the older ones, my sister used to not so kind to me to tell me. She refused to tell me, and I got beaten. Like I'm a stubborn child and everything. But I really wasn't happy. I'm still not happy. I don't know what happened with my father. The only thing I know is that my mother passed away. I saw her in the coffin. And I don't know the situation, but my mother ended up being buried in Lesotho in that place.
Okay.
And then I asked my sister about my mother's documents, and then she said that those relatives, they never allow us to have anything from our mother.
Okay.
I asked about my mother's passport. Don't pass that time. And then my sister said that she doesn't know where did they took them.
Okay.
And then when I grow up, then I go to these people.
Yes.
And then always like I'm a bad child when I try to ask about my mother's, because I wanted to see, I wanted to go back.
Mm.
So yeah.
So Lucy, you said you decided to escape.
Yes.
You from Lesotho, where you never wanted to be in the first place.
Yes.
And so you and your two brothers, you managed to escape. Was that with the help of your brother when he visited, or?
No. I said to him, but what I'm gonna do with that time I was only have Masilo. And then I said, if I go find job, so who will look? Do you have a steady family yourself? Do you have place to stay?
Yes.
Where do you stay?
Mm.
But then I didn't get a correct answer. And then I said, but you the man, you can survive whatever the life. But me as a woman with a baby,
Yes.
I think give me some time to protect myself.
Mm.
And then he left.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you had your second son?
Yes.
While you're still in Lesotho,
Yes.
and then you said you managed to escape.
Yes.
So how did you do that? Did you go on a bus, or?
I took, because I didn't know exactly where home is, because without the address.
Yes.
So I find difficult to go, and then I didn't even remember the farm. I just used to talk about it to the people coming from Bloemfontein, for example, Anna. And then she's the one used to put me in the light to say, look, I know your place. I always hate the people when they're visiting my mom. They always, when they feel like hungry, they always say that we're going to, at my place. Yes. But then I've been thinking about visiting there, but I believe that, but I find it difficult. Where would I go, and then where I'm going to sleep, something like that. So
Of course.
yeah. So
So
I decide to, okay, I have an uncle in PE. So when I escaped to Lesotho, I took them the taxi to cross the border to a little town called Wepena. From there, I took another taxi to Bloemfontein Station.
Yes.
It's whereby I got the train to PE, to my uncle.
To your uncle. Okay. And did you all have documents? You can get into the country, you and your two children?
Yes. The sad story is about my life. When we were in Lesotho, I don't know what happened, as I said, about us in that time. We never have a birth certificate. Yes. But what we have is a baptism certificate, is what we have.
Okay.
Birth certificate, no.
Okay.
No, I don't know why.
Okay.
But it's how it was.
And that was enough to cross the border. You could get in.
In Lesotho, these people, relatives, they even scratch those surnames and some stuff, and then they write the surname that it doesn't belong to me. I used to make a big fuss about it.
Okay.
But then for nothing, because nobody cares. Okay. So now when I was in this marriage now, I use the name and the surname. Yeah. Selokoma is not my surname, it's my marriage surname. Yes. So I got the documents in Lesotho. Yes. And then my boys, of course. Yes. And it's how I managed to cross the border. Okay.
And all the way to PE.
To PE.
It's a long way from Lesotho.
Long way, yes.
Okay. And Did you have a big sense of relief when you finally made it there? And
Yes, I was, because I in my mother's relatives, when I was in Lesotho, I heard that my mother got a brother in family, actually, because my mother wanted a daughter. She never have like a really brother. But how we grow up with Sotho people, they teach us like in the family, this is your uncle, even though it's not like the same
Right.
mother and same. So I heard that we have uncle that working in the railway station in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
So when I got there with 2 boys, I was very shy. I never asked at the first place. And then I got there in the wrong day. There was no train that day to PE.
So you had to have a night in Bloemfontein?
2 nights, actually.
At the station?
At the station, sleeping there.
And it's cold in Bloemfontein.
Yes, but then we had a blanket we tucked together with my boys, so it wasn't a big. And then I asked one of the men working there, and then asking about this uncle of mine that I never met.
Sure.
And then he never came. Actually, I don't know when did he receive the message. But when we were waiting for the day that we waiting for the train to PE, he came on the station and then asked about me.
And in Bloemfontein? In
Bloemfontein, when we were waiting for the train.
So he accompanied you to PE?
No, he didn't, but he sent a message to my uncle to say that I will come in December. But he never made it. Yeah. I never saw him, but...
Okay. But you made it to PE, and
yes,
your uncle was there for you?
Yes.
And did you stay a long time in PE?
I stayed a long time, I believe 8 years, because it's whereby my kids start school. But it wasn't easy also.
Yeah.
But
were you staying with your uncle in PE, or did you stay alone?
With the whole family. Uncle with the...
Oh, okay. So
yes.
you're with the big family.
Yes.
Okay. And did you manage to find work in PE?
Oh, yes. As a domestic worker, yes. Because I can't just sit with 2 boys. And yes.
Okay.
I did find a work.
Okay.
In PE.
Okay. And escaping with your 2 boys, did your husband and his family chase you? Were they, where is Lucy? Where's our sons?
I don't know, but the only thing I know is Masilo now, I don't know how, but he was still small. Yeah. My father-in-law would come to demand Masilo to go with the other boys to look after the sheep or the cow, whatever the story is. Yes. And then I used to make a big fuss. But because I don't have power, they just grabbed the child and then took him crying, or it doesn't matter. So I was so scared to fight them, but I wasn't happy about the situation before. Yeah. I wanted my boy to grow up to go to school, but father wasn't
didn't want
father enough. He was just accept whatever because it's how he grew up. But for me,
you wanted your sons to go to school?
Yes, I never liked, the life that they are living there. I never feel comfortable. I never like when you can't express yourself, and then when you express yourself, then you are a bad daughter-in-law that other women also, they even say to me, we don't want you close to our daughter-in-laws because you are a bad influence to them. Okay. When I started to, after 10 years, I believe, when I started to say no to the people when they abusing me. So they never liked me because of that.
Okay. So you came to PE, about 8 years in PE, staying with the family. You got some work as a domestic worker and your children are at school. How did you find your way to Cape Town?
To Cape Town.
What brought you to Cape Town?
Also, it's the situation. My life in my uncle's house, it wasn't easy. Yes. I don't even want to talk about it because it's brought back sad memories. But I managed to escape and then go and then live with my 2 boys in the shack. And also the where I'm working as a domestic worker in PE, I end up leaving that job because of the abuse of the man, the owner. He would rape me when the wife, he was a lawyer, and then, whatever he wants to do, he go to the office sometimes he work from home. Is where been happened when the wife is not there. Because I was so scared, not know who to tell, who to trust. I stayed because I don't know where to go.
Yes.
Because to escape also my uncle's house, it was the same story towards my uncle. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And there was the lady coming from Free State, I don't remember. So we come to be close friends. But I never told her the reason why I left the job. I just tell her that I quit my job because I'm not so happy about the treatment. That's all. And then luckily she knows the lady that her daughter is here in Rajasthan up there. That husband working in the labor, all that stuff. So she's looking for someone. It's how I
came to Cape Town.
came to Cape Town.
So you offered a job as a domestic worker.
Yes, as
for a family
worker.
close to here.
Yes, close to here.
Okay. So you had to get on a bus and come to Cape Town from PE. You didn't know anyone.
I didn't know anyone. And then it was quiet in Cape Town, but beautiful. I fall in love straight away with Cape Town because I look at Table Mountain, and then I heard about it at school when I was in Lesotho, and then I used to ask myself, I really want to, not want to, but there was the question, how can the mountain be looked like a table on top?
Yes.
And then I was curious about it. And then when I got here, and then I asked the lady the name of this mountain, and I said, this is a Table Mountain. And I said, really?
Yeah.
And then I was so happy. And then to see the sea, I was happy also in PE about the sea. Because a little child, when my grandmother come in and visit my uncle here in PE, and then I used to oh dear, I wish I could see the sea.
Yes. Well, Cape Town, you get in Lesotho, you have mountains. In PE,
And the
you
rivers,
have the sea.
yes. Lesotho is a mountainous country, and then Cape Town will have both.
Yes, that's right.
And then I love the trees. When we arrived here, like Rondabush Common, it was dark green, full of trees. You can't see just through to Red Cross. So for me, it was a lovely place to be.
Oh, good.
So, yes.
And the place where you were working, were you happy there?
No, same story. I always ask myself, what is wrong with me? Maybe it must be a curse on me or what? What is going on in my life? It wasn't easy. It was tough. That I didn't even stay there for a year.
Yes.
No ways.
Okay. But then did you manage to get another job?
Yes. I managed to get another job.
Yeah.
At the restaurant.
In a restaurant?
Look at the newspaper, what they call it, a toddler, because I left here. Yeah. I left the family because I wasn't happy, but I was still staying in the room.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough because the caretaker was so kind to say, Lucy, I'm feeling sorry about you. I'm sorry. Yes. This is our African people. Yes. I've seen a lot. You're not the first, I believe. You're not the last. Yes. And then he says to me, well, the lady demanded her key for the room. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay on the street with two boys? No, I'm not going to allow that. Yes. I will give them their key. Give them their key. I will open the other room for you and your kids. Okay. And if they go to the head office and then report this, and then I will expose them. I will tell them how bad they treated you, because he knows. He says, I know everything about these people. I know who is good, who is bad.
Okay.
And I've been staying in Rakastar for so many years. And yeah.
Okay. And is that how you found your way to this church? Because you were living up the road, or what?
Yes,
What
up
brought
the
you?
road. My boys, the kids, but I'm happy. They met. Who is this guy? Because the kids, they make friends. They're not like us. How did they met these boys? I don't know. But only thing I know is behind this flat, there is place, they call it a Rajasdal bowling club. So sometimes the kids, when they play soccer, is how they met each other. Because the guy was Kevin, if I'm not mistaken. He was staying up there by Victoria, where the doctors are, as you go up in Belmont Road. So they met them, and then one day they came together with my boys, and then they asked if Masilo and Mpo can join them at church right here. And then I was like, are they welcome to go? Because we are black,
Yes.
So they say, no. Everybody's welcome there. And then I let my boys go first. But for me, it wasn't easy. I wasn't feel like, because those years when I arrived here, I don't even remember, because I think my mind is not good anymore. But then there was the question in my mind that stays with me, doesn't give me peace. Like, I wonder, what the people say in the church about seeing these kids, like, where are the parents of these two boys? And then I decided to come one Sunday.
Okay.
And then, yes, what a lovely family. When I got here, that time it was that last. So
That respects.
yes, I don't know the first time what happened, but the only thing I know, it was a very warm welcoming for everybody.
So you felt at home.
I felt like home.
Okay.
Since that day until today.
So must be at least 20 years or something. You've been...
Yes, more than 20 years. Because when I look at the kids that were born, like, for example, Emily, she wasn't born yet.
Yes.
Like Lola, Luca was this, I think she was 6 or 7.
Aristide.
Arrested when they come here. He was also tiny, hey?
Yes.
He was a little boy also.
Yes.
They were young.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
also arrested, they came, I was here a few years, I believe. I think I was,
Okay.
Yeah,
So you came, you were a bit scared to come, but you felt welcome, and you've been here ever since.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice story.
Yes.
You've had some difficult home experiences, so at least if you come to church, you can feel loved and welcome and accepted.
Yes, I still feel the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And so, Lucy, what are you doing with yourself these days? Where are you staying? Are you working?
Yes, I'm working, yes, as a domestic worker, yes. I'm staying in Pelican Park. Finally, I got the little house in Pelican Park, yes.
Okay. And working as a domestic worker,
Yes.
Is that working out better than some of your previous experiences?
Yes, I must say it's better.
Okay.
It's better, yes.
Glad to hear. And your two boys, what are they doing now?
They're both working.
Okay.
Mpo been struggling to find a job, but at the moment, yes, finally she got the job. He got the job. Masilo is working in Spare in Waterfront.
Yes.
So many years.
Okay. And Lucy, I mean, you've had many challenging times in your life.
Yes.
what has managed to sustain you? I mean, you come to this church. Your Christian faith, has that been an important part of your life?
Yes, it was at the beginning,
Yes.
still is,
Yes.
and forever. It's what I believe. Sometimes it's hard,
Yes.
but
Did you have a church background before you came here?
yes, also it started in Lesotho as well. Nobody tell me to go to church the same way as school. I just follow the other kids, and then I was happy to be in Sunday school, and I never want to miss a Sunday school.
Okay. Well, and it stayed with you through your life.
Through my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And Lucy, what do you like to do for fun? Yeah.
For fun.
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy is when I used to stay here because I have lots of friends close by.
Yes.
I never felt alone since I joined the church.
Yes.
I used to like to read a lot, but now it seems like, I don't know, like the things that since I moved to Pelican Park, I don't know, the things that I used to like before is like fading away.
Okay.
I remember making myself, when we moved there for the first time, I think it was 2015, 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Then I just go out, like to run around, like to try to exercise. And then I caught in the bad guys, they just stopped me, and like I was like, what is going on? And then take off your shoes, and they took my my shoes, they took my top, and then I was like standing there, and then I said to them, please don't hurt me, you can take whatever. It's whereby I start to froze in that place.
Yes.
I was scared.
Yes.
I'm still scared.
Right, so you don't go out much?
Not much.
Okay, all right.
Because even to go to ShopRite, it never happens to me. But we heard that sometimes they come and then they just grab these guys with the bikes. They grab whatever the grocery you do at ShopRite, and then they just disappear.
Yes.
And then they rob people, more special in winter. Ooh, you look over your shoulder all the time. It's not a nice life.
Yeah.
Gangs, shootings, robbing, breaking ins.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
You still have the beautiful mountain and the sea, and hopefully you still have some nice moments.
Yes, that's true. And then when COVID starts, and then I was like totally mad, like God, because now I was stuck in my room, just go out when it's needed.
Yeah.
It's whereby I was felt like, dear Lord, my depression was like nobody's business. So, and then, God is good. Here we are.
Yeah, we've come through.
Yes, I didn't know. I thought this is the end. And then it was so difficult for me because I was staying on my own.
Yes.
And then in that area, nobody did care about COVID or not COVID. The life for them was like normal.
Yes.
I don't know how did they survive, but they did.
Yeah.
And they still not believe. And then I was like at the point, like, I want to live like them.
Yeah.
I think I reached a point that I want to live like them because I can't handle to be lonely in this room. But there was fear behind that thought to say, but what if?
Yes, yes.
And I remember that I even spoke, Robert spoke with me, or he called me, members of the church, they called me, and that kept me going.
Yeah.
and telling me they're praying for me because I used to cry a lot, like Oma, Judy Cook,
Yeah.
and Mama Francis and the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thankfully things are opening up a bit, and we're back at church, and
yes. So happy.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lucy, for sharing something of your story with us this morning.
Thank you. My confusing story. I don't even follow it myself. My life. I don't know. But above all, I thank God because I'm still here. I don't know how did I do it.
Yeah.
But I believe that because of God, I'm here.
You are. Thank you so much, Lucy.
And I'm happy to be at the church like this. For me, it's my family, it's my spiritual family. And then I'm happy, and then I thank God for each and every member of this congregation. Small, young, old. I love everybody.
And we love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you so much. God bless.